Okay, guys, so I'm sure by now you've heard all about Franke, the famous YouTuber who offered parenting advice and is now arrested on child abuse allegations. I personally have quite a few videos that are labeled. Go watch them to see how her arrest even came about. It's terrifying. But I wanted to tell you guys about this. So I talked about Ruby's daughter, Sherry, who had recently put out an Instagram post saying, finally glad she's caught, basically in a nutshell. Well, these are Ruby's two sisters, okay? And so they have also put out an Instagram response and comment to this whole ordeal. They said, for the last 3 years, we've kept quiet on the subject of our sister Ruby Franke for the sake of her children. Behind the public scene, we have done everything we could to try to make sure the kids were safe. We wouldn't feel right about moving forward with regular content without addressing the most recent events. Once we do, we will not be commenting on it further. Ruby was arrested, which needed to happen. Jody was arrested, which needed to happen. The kids are now safe, which is the number one priority. I actually have a lot of thoughts on this, guys. 3 years is a very long time to know that a certain level of behavior and trauma is happening to kids. I personally have experience with wanting to make a change for a child, and the person who was doing something to the child never quite crossed enough line to be able to report it. So all you could do was just try to be there. And I feel like that's what these sisters are trying to act like was the case. However, we are literally talking about, ligature marks, being tied up, not fed. Like, I personally have big issues with this. I don't understand how you could have so much knowledge for years and not have further ability to help make a change. From what I reported on another post, a neighbor called in September 22. CPS did apparently come to the house, but the Frankes weren't there. And I guess there was no follow-up. So it would seem to me that people also didn't follow up on their suspicions and reporting. I don't really know. I don't know how all this goes with CPS. So I can't judge on who dropped the ball. But apparently the neighbors are sitting here saying things like that one of the kids would just be wandering the streets when it was normal school hours. It was, one of the young children, and knock on the doors and say, can your kids come out to play? And I think that would set off alarm bells. They're also on here saying for weeks at time, Franke would withhold food as a punishment and keep them inside. She took away their Christmas one year as punishment for not repenting correctly. Now, this is a neighbor alleging this. So I am surprised that so many neighbors that seem to be coming out with allegations had not collectively continued to report. Maybe they did and nothing came of it and they felt helpless. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I have read and seen so far. I want to hear more about what you guys think in the comments, or if you know more information and want to share it in the comments.